Before I get into the charts, as usual, quick shout out to the sponsors of the stream, Prime XBT. If you guys are interested in supporting me, you like that I'm putting out this content, it's all for free for you guys. The best way to support me is to use that Prime XBT link in the description of this video. Deposit some money on there. Before you deposit, make sure you input code MAIN50. Check out the link in the description. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are doing great. But yeah, if you want to support me, if you're new here and you're not using my link already, that's the best way to do it. Click on that link in the description. And also, that's how you get into my Discord. My Discord is free, but I do ask that people use my ref link kind of as a way to get in. Doesn't cost you anything. So if you want to get in my Discord, that's how you do it. Send me proof in my DMs. I'll get you in the Discord. So let's talk about what's kind of happened. I'll cover, the short, because as you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, you follow me on Telegram, you know how salty I am about getting stopped out here, but we were hunting the short up here. A lot of people were super bullish right into resistance. And as usual, Bitcoin decided to pull back instead of just blasting through. It doesn't mean that we can't go up. Doesn't mean that we couldn't do this and then down. There's so many things that can happen. But what I knew was based on this price action and my view of the markets and how I trade, I was looking for a pullback. I'm like, okay, I think it's time that this rally gets a bit of a pullback, right? And so we nailed this short here. This one, I know a lot of you guys nailed because everyone let me know in the Discord wins channel and on Twitter that you guys were basically shorting my stop loss, which is funny. But I made a tweet the other day about, hey, sometimes you get stopped out. If your idea is still valid, hop back in. And I didn't follow my own advice here. But yeah, I mean, listen, I got stopped out, but the short was legit. All the things that we were looking for to happen, happened. And the result was exactly what we expected. So this is why I always talk about trusting the system, because there's going to be times where you take a trade and you're like, what the fuck? X, Y, and Z happened. So I took a long and it didn't go up. You got stopped or it went down. That's gonna happen. Your system is not meant to be perfect. You're not supposed to get 100% of the trades right. If you could get every single trade you take right, you wouldn't need to do any risk management, would you? You could just go all in every single time, right? Even if you get 75% of your trades right, that's insane. You could be aiming for 1-to-1s and make money. What's more realistic is a strike rate, in my opinion, somewhere in the 30 to 50 range. I know 30 sounds low, but if you have a system that when it hits you with big R, that can work. But 30 to 50 is kind of where I would say my hit rate is usually right around 50%. So I'm right about 50% of the time, but I make money. And the reason being is I'm aiming for a minimum of 2-to-1 on all my trades. And so when I have that trade that ticks all the boxes and I get stopped out, it does not matter because the next trade I take will pay for that loser if it's a winner. And trusting the system, saying this is what I'm looking for to enter, and entering every time that you get that, that's how you're gonna improve, and that's how you're gonna build that discipline and become robotic, not be emotional. If price is moving but you didn't get your setup, too fucking bad. You're missing the move. So you'll chase less and you will make more money. It's only a system if it's systematic. If you do the same things every single time. Now, when you get more experienced, of course, there's trades management, adjusting stops, taking profit early, adjusting targets, not taking a setup for reasons X, Y, and Z. But early on in your journey, if you have your checklist and your system of things you look for and all of them are ticked, you need to pull trigger. There's no way you're going to get better at executing if your setup is showing itself in the market and you're not at least trying to take it. So unfortunately, I got stopped out here, but the short was exactly kind of what we were looking for to happen based on the price action. We had our weekly SFP. Then we had the 12-hour SFP. Okay, and then down on the hourly is where you got your nice and tidy entry. I got stopped out on this wick. I should have just reshorted when it closed like this, but that's okay. I missed it. It is what it is. Weekly SFP, 12-hour SFP. The H1 also put in SFPs, and we've got our entry trigger on that H1, and there's multiple entry triggers that played out here on the low time frames, right? Once that move was topped, there's several entries here. This is a fair value gap entry. This is a order block entry right here. Up candle that broke market structure to the downside. Boom. How come this order block worked and this one didn't? It's context, right? We have the high time frame swing fails. We have the break in market structure. That's what makes this a high probability move. So there's tons of entries. There's tons of entries here. I know a lot of you guys got into it because I saw the fucking chat going ham. Everyone being like, thanks, Main, for, telling me to short, and I wasn't even short. So I'm done whining about it. I did plenty of whining on Twitter and in Telegram about how I was annoyed, but it is what it is. It does suck because because a ton of people were bullish. You go on Twitter, everyone was calling, hey, we're going to go to 30K. I'm like, this is pulling back. And so my idea was right. And what's annoying is, you know, we got a 10% move. That's a big move to the downside. And I would have liked to have been on board, but I wasn't. It is what it is. So got the big sell-off. Now we're consolidating. Now we need to figure out, you know, what's going to happen next. So we'll go back here to this chart. Okay. So looking at the weekly, we had that SFP here and we ran the range high. So we're still within this trading range. Deviated below. Now we've traded to the high. Now the question is, what are we doing? Are we breaking out of this range finally? Like, are we actually going to have a move either to the up or downside and actually break out? Are we going to push up again and then maybe back in? I don't know yet. What I'm trying to predict is the next one move. What is the most likely direction this next weekly candle is going to go? And can I get in some trades in line with that direction, whether it be on Bitcoin or altcoins, right? I'm just trying to predict one move at a time. Still within this range, ran the range high. We do have this daily or this weekly kind of bullish OB in the making here. Pushed up. We're now retesting this. So what you really want to see as a bull is us not go below here, in my opinion. Do not want to see us go below here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some choppy sideways PA here before an actual move. I'm still of the mindset that the next move to the upside trades to here. The question is, are we going to take out this low first, or are we just going to consolidate and then break out? That's really all I see. Likely some choppy sideways action. How deep can this pull back? This would be a target on downside. If we do continue to sell off, I would like to see this low get run and then the move up. That would be my ideal scenario, but I will be prepared if we just go sideways and then break up. So very simply, if we start trading above January's high and holding, I'll be looking to get long biased or long up towards 29, 28, 29, 30K. If we pull back and take out this low, I'll be looking to get long. As long as we're holding above this breaker, I'm bullish towards 28 to 30K. If we get below here, new lows and much uglier. So that's kind of my weekly analysis. Now, zooming in a little bit, the reason I've marked January's high here and why I think it's important is we have January's high here because this is now February. The month of February traded down. Right? So if this is the monthly candle, right? It opened here. We traded down. Now we're trading up and now we're sitting around here and we're probably going to close the month around here, right? The last day of the month is tomorrow. So the monthly candle is going to look something like this, right? It'll have a long upper wick and a long lower wick, and then it'll have the body in the middle. This high took out January's high. So January opened down here, huge up move, closed near the high. This took out that high. So why is this relevant? Well, if you're looking at this from a monthly candle perspective, you say, where's the most likely next draw on liquidity? Well, we have all of these monthly highs here. Each one of these has now been run. There's January's high and there's that old high from back in whatever month that is, August. Those have been hit. The next monthly high is way the fuck up here. This yearly candle, January, doesn't even have a lower wick. This candle is untested. So there's an argument to be made that the draw on liquidity could actually be taking out January's low now and putting in a low for the year. If you look at the yearly candle, there's no lower wick at all. The yearly open and the yearly low are within $30, $40 of each other. On the monthly time frame, that's insignificant, immaterial. So we definitely want to be aware that, hey, we traded above all of these highs and now we're back below. So that gives us a very easy bias level. If this is last month's high, we traded above it, we're now back below. I think that it's more likely that we go sideways or down until we get back above here. So that's an easy bias level, right? So if we get back above January's high, by all means, get bullish towards 30K. But until then, caution. The other thing that I think is relevant is if you look here on the monthly chart, look how many times we took out the previous month's high. What happened after that? So this is April, took out March's high. May, massive sell-off. Took out this high, big sell-off. Took out these highs, big sell-off. Took out this high, big sell-off, right? So every time we've taken out the previous month's high, usually the next month dumps. Not every time. I think I tracked like the last 6 or 7, and like 6 out of 7 took out last month's high, proceeded to dump the following month. Something to be aware of. I'm not trying to just spook everyone with uber bearishness here. I just told you I still think we trade to 30K, but I'm just saying be aware. This was not the time to be bullish in my opinion. At resistance, we're in a range until proven otherwise. Another thing I think you have to be aware of here is if you look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin loves to top like this. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, maybe one more. Boom. It does this all the time. You can find this pattern all over the Bitcoin chart. 3 drives, dump. 3 drives, dump. It happens a lot. So it's a very common price fractal. 1, 2, 3, dump. And I posted this chart relative to here because it kind of looks the same. Not saying it's the exact same, but there's some similarities between how we topped near all-time high and the current price action. So I'm just saying be aware, right? I'm not saying that it's going to go like it's going to repeat. Just saying you should be aware because this type of market structure is not too dissimilar to this, where we have a high, trade down, trade above it, back below, the over-under, right? The same old shit that I always talk about. We're trading here, we trade above it, everyone's super bullish, get back below, barf. So that's what we have to be aware of. And a perfect level here, just like I said, is January's high. This can be our bias right here. It has all the confluence in the world. It's a key high. We have this 12-hour order block here, and we have a very obvious upside draw. So if we are able to get back above here, what would be happening? Well, this bearish order block would become a breaker, took out these lows. We would be reclaiming that old high. I would look to be long biased up into here, at least, and then arguably you can target even higher. Does not completely discount the fact that we could make another high here and then dump back down, but you treat this same way you treat this. If we trade up here and then back below that previous high, you look to short. But this is a super critical area, and I think it's super easy and clear as to why. Above here, boom, we're bullish. Otherwise, I think probably some choppiness, some sideways, and I wouldn't be completely surprised if we run this and we have some big juicy buyers down from like 21 down to like 19. Run this low. I don't know if we run this one, but as long as we're staying above this weekly breaker, I think we're okay, even if we do pull back further. Okay, so pullbacks are not a bad thing. Price cannot go up in a straight line. This is unsustainable, right? You have to have pullbacks effectively for the market to be able to engineer new liquidity and reload, right? New buyers to come in, right? The entities that drove this move, they're distributing up here 100%. It doesn't mean that it's going back to zero, but it could mean that they're going to sell it off, right? The buying pressure's gone, and then the bid comes back here. And then the next leg comes up. Accumulation, expansion, distribution. That's all the market does. It accumulates, it expands, it either reaccumulates and expands again, or it accumulates, expands, distributes, and then retraces. But it can only go up, down, or sideways. There's only 3 options, and it cannot go up in a straight line. If you want price to go higher, you need a period of sideways preceding it, an accumulation phase. If you want price to drop, you need a distribution phase. You're going to see a lot of Wyckoff fractals up here. You're going to see a whole lot of bullshit. You guys know better than that. We have a very clear, easy level here on the H12. This is what we're going to be focused on. This is our huckleberry. We get back above this area here, we're looking to long. Otherwise, my bias is that we probably trade sideways and potentially down, with a target being here and then this being the area that we look for longs. Okay, so that was a lot of fucking alpha and a lot of information that I just shared with you guys there, and I highly suggest you rewatch this early part of the video, because what I've explained over the last 20 minutes of me just talking is applicable in any market, any time frame. This type of knowledge, this type of logic, this type of reasoning, all the same. It's universal. Really want to watch that again, probably. Dig that into your brain, okay? All that being said, lots can happen. So we did have the short here, took out this low. Now we're consolidating. And I posted when we were down here, I said, I think we trade up to this 12-hour order block. I posted a video, I think it was on Friday, just on Twitter. It was like a 3-4 minute video. I said, I think we trade up into here now. We ran this low, SFP'd. We got our classic buy setup here on the H1. I didn't take it because it was the weekend, but I know know lots of you did. It played out beautifully. Very clear target. Target was the H12OB. We came up here, made this high. What did I post in Telegram? I said, I'm not shorting yet. I want to see a move above this high and then back below, and that would be my short. Moved above, back below. There was the short. The short was, once this broke down, you're shorting down here, and you could be potentially adding here for another leg. I don't know yet. I drew this out. We had this high here. I said, I want to see a move above that high for the short. But we had the classic buy setup form right here. Sell setup formed up here. So it was all laid out, and I posted that in Telegram. I was like, guys, I laid it all out for you. I didn't even take the trades, but I gave you the bias up or down. I told you what I think. Obviously, I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but it ended up being right. I given you the bias from here. The bias from here was short. The bias down here I gave was long. The bias in this area again was bearish. So I gave you the bias. That's fucking 75% of the work. Is it going up or down? If you can figure that out, your life is easy. If you can figure out what is the most likely next direction, the next draw on liquidity, is it above price or is it below price? Figuring out how to get into a trade to go to that direction, that's easy. Getting the direction is the hard part, in my opinion. But if you can be accurate and you say, okay, if I tell you, hey, I'm bullish here towards 23.8, towards this 12-hour block, all you're doing here is looking for reasons to long. You've eliminated all bearish ideas out of your mind. That makes your life easier, just like here. That's why so many of you caught this short, because I said, we're selling off here. And even though that this wicked up again, you guys are like, I want shorts. And it gave you the short trigger and you pulled it. It's awesome. So we'll wait and see what happens here. We do have a 12-hour SFP that is closed within this 12-hour bearish order block. So looking at this here, technically we have a market structure break as well. So you could argue that this is a short already. You should be short already, and you should target down here and then ultimately that 21K low. But we'll wait and see. It's only Monday. Lots can happen. We got a little bit of absorption going on here. We ran some lows, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bit of a choppy week. We had a 10% down move over the last handful of days. Wouldn't be surprised if this week is a little bit choppy and sideways. But we'll wait and see. But I'm pretty happy with my analysis. Again, my execution was not great, but that happens, right? And if I'm seeing the market, I'm not worried. My execution will come, like I know what I'm supposed to do. I'll be fine. If you're having trouble seeing the market and you're just not in sync, that's a bigger problem, because then you're kind of, lost in the wind. But if you've got a pretty good roadmap of where you think price is likely to go, getting into the trades, in my opinion, is not the hard part. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum here next, guys. We have Ethereum here print basically the same setup as Bitcoin. Weekly SFP, 12-hour SFP, hourly trigger, all in here. It's the exact same setup as Bitcoin. You guys know what we're looking for. There's your up move, break in market structure. You're looking to short anywhere in here. And it gave you tons of chances. Ethereum was cleaner than Bitcoin. Bitcoin fucked around up at the high. Once Ethereum put in that high time frame SFP, there's your bearish order block. Here's another SFP, another SFP, another SFP, another SFP, and then proceeding breakdowns. Like this is what I mean, clues of distribution. High gets run, and then it trades below a low. Right? That's what you're seeing happen in here, distribution. And I don't need to look at any order books or anything like that to figure out that that's happening. I do it purely based on the chart. Some people use other tools to determine who's buying, who's selling, right? Are longs from lower exiting, right? Are shorts being accumulated? Is it spot? Is it derivatives? All of that is useful information, right? I just don't trade like that, but we come to the same conclusion, right? You prefer my head to the other side of the screen over here? Okay, so Ethereum, same setup, printed 10% pullback, no problem. Similar to Bitcoin, right? Took out the low, now we're bouncing. You can do the same thing as we did on Bitcoin. We can say, okay, where's January's high? It's right here. Zoom in and treat it the exact same. So Ethereum has basically all of the same PA here to Bitcoin. We have January's high. We have our 12-hour bearish order block that we've rejected into right now. This becomes my bias zone. We start trading back above January's high. I'm targeting 1800 and then 2K. Simple as that. Or do we get a pullback first and do we take out this low? Same as Bitcoin. It's the exact same. So whatever one you think trades cleaner, gives you a cleaner setup, that's going to be up to you to decide. You have a weekly fair value gap here from here to here, and we have this low sitting right inside of it. If we run below this low, okay, you want to see this get bought up quickly. Because if we start trading below 1480 and holding below there, I think that's fucked. And that'd be equivalent with Bitcoin losing that 19 to 20K area. But this is the same plan. Start trading above here. We're bullish. If we are going to pull back further, I'm targeting a run of this low, and then I'm looking to get long for another leg up. So regardless of what happens, I'm looking for higher prices. So if people have been like, oh, you're so bearish at the start of the video, I'm telling you, I think we go higher. What I'm trying to determine is, are we going higher from here, or is the pullback not done and we're going to pull back a little bit more first? So that's Ethereum done and dusted. Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We still have Ethereum BTC dicking around at this fucking level, pissing me off. It's at support still. Run the lows a bunch of fucking times within this consolidation. I want to see this move away. If Ethereum's going to lead the next move, this needs to put in a big green candle. If this continues to kind of meander around the EQ here, and if it starts trading below here, then whatever the next move's going to happen, Bitcoin's going to be the stronger of the two assets. Okay, let's look at equities. So stocks, I think me and a lot of people, we were expecting a move. I was kind of hoping we got like a triple top up into here, kind of our triple top action here. But we ran this previous high and sold off, right? Very simply. Same setup as Bitcoin and Ethereum played out here on SPX. Now, what we're looking at here is, okay, we're clearly into some support in this area here. Clearly into some support here. Is this going to get bid up and is it going to trade higher? I don't know yet. I do think that if it trades higher, this is where I'm targeting, 4,300. But if we start trading below here, if we lose 3,900 again, I think that this is the lower high and we're going to now make a lower low below this one. So pretty critical point here coming up in all the markets, right? Because if this thing rolls and we start trading down, crypto is going to eat a dick, right? If this trades up to 4,300, guess what? Bitcoin's going to 30,000. So definitely keep an eye on this. Very critical spot. We're on support right now. Ultimately, I do still believe that we trade down into these pre-COVID highs. I still think that is where we trade down to high time frame, but it doesn't mean that we can't go up and then down, right? And if that's going to happen, I want to be long biased for this move up because this could play out over a handful of days to weeks. This is the weekly chart. We could have several weeks of green before a big dump, and you don't want to just be sitting on your hands the entire time. That's kind of like the Capo argument, right? Is a lot of people are hating on Capo, you know, because he's like, I'm still bearish. And my issue with him is like, bro, okay, you can be bearish. You can be bearish. You can think that 12K is coming because maybe it is, right? Maybe this is the top and we are going to make a low here. Now, if we go to 12K from here, was Capo right? I don't think so. Sure, he was right about us going to 12K, but if you're a real trader, you do not ignore a 40% rally. You trade both directions. Even if you ultimately think price is going to go lower, you are an idiot if you're not at least trying to catch some upside during the last fucking month and a half, 2 months. That's just my opinion. So someone could be like, look, I told you we were going to 12K and now we're here. It's like, yeah, but we went from 15 to like almost 30 and then went to 12K. So were you really right? I don't think so. So same logic goes here. If I think that we ultimately trade down here, it doesn't mean that I'm not willing to take any longs if things look bullish first. So the dollar did what I thought it was going to do, right? So we had this bullish move here. Everyone thought the dollar was going to sell off. I'm like, this thing's going higher. This thing's trading to at least 105. I've been consistent about that in every stream for the last several weeks that we're trading to at least 105 on the dollar. And personally, I think we can trade even higher up into here, up into these highs here. And right now, right, we had a little bit of a pullback, confluent with what? Dollar pulls back, crypto gets a little bit of a bid. Nothing surprising to us. I still think this can trade higher. The market structure on this is still bullish. And I still don't think that this, but look at the reaction. This is just from the 1 weekly SFP here. Look at that big ass reaction. Huge. And this timed up perfectly with 25K being where market capped out here. And the dollar's been going up ever since. So pretty key area here. We are into some resistance, but this can still trade higher. I mean, my dream scenario is something like maybe this. Bitcoin goes to 30K. Then a huge rally on the dollar up into like here. Bitcoin dumps super hard. I don't know how low, maybe back to 20K, maybe even lower. And then this is the lower high for the dollar that lasts for years. And then this is the new bull run here. That's my dream scenario. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I would love to see something like that. Like I would love to see one more big flush on risk. So get SPX down to that area, ES, get Bitcoin down again. And then this is a lower high relative to here, right? Break in market structure, lower high. And then the dollar trades down for the next 2+ years, which gives Bitcoin and risk the opportunity to go back into a bull run. But lots can happen. The economy still is shit. They're still not cutting rates or anything like that. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Dollar, right? Retesting some support here, getting a little bit of a push. So again, early in the week, I don't know what's going to happen yet. Yo. I'm back. Yeah, is this glowy light distracting? Trying to be a real streamer, you know, and have cool lights in the background. That's all. This guy says, stop trading based on lines. Maybe you can make some money. I'm pretty confident I make more money than you, and I just draw lines and boxes on charts all day. Yo, what the fuck happened to his head? Nothing. This has been my head for 32 years. I'm 32, bitch. I'm old. I'm grown. The alpha that was delivered was such high quality that I'm physically attracted to you. I get that a lot. That's what I do. That's how I pick up chicks. I just talk to them about TA. It's like that meme of the guy in the club like whispering in that girl's ear and she looked like her face is like, kill me now. That's me in your girl's ear talking about order blocks and fucking breakers and fair value gaps that need filling. Because I like being different. I'm so weird and awkward. That's why. Nice haircut, bro. I'm bald, but my hairline is like pristine. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh well. Is this the same guy from the last stream? Streaming to a bunch of redacted about technical analysis and drawing lines across random points in price charts is zero interest rate phenomena. How about you prove to me that you have any money at all? You want to compare bank accounts, watches, cars? What do you want to do? Clearly what I'm doing is working for me. Just because you don't get it, it's not my fucking problem, bro. There's always going to be a hater, but you will never receive hate from someone who is doing better than you. Guaranteed this guy lives at home. Guaranteed he's broke. Guaranteed. Dude is projecting. That's what he's doing. Because like, why are you watching my stream then? Why are you here? Go do something with your time. Go to your job at McDonald's. Pick up that extra shift. I will take fries with that.